of the Blue Streaks. Corey, thanks for joining us. Really happy that you're able to make it out. I know we giving us some extra help here on what's a holiday weekend, taking some photos during the game as well. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Noah. Thanks for the text. Always love to come up and watch some Blue Streak baseball.
And of course, you're still living in the Cleveland area as well. You're working for Heinen's, is that right?
Yep.
Heinen's, the grocery store, one of the main grocery stores in Cleveland. And I know you're still keeping up with the Blue Streak baseball team a little bit, of course, with your cousin Bobby. What was that dynamic like? When you were here as a student, knowing your cousin Bobby was the coach here.
Well, it wasn't too bad. When I first came here, Bobby was just the assistant coach, and then he left for the Force Academy. So I really had Mark Tebow, the head coach. I spent a lot of time with him my first couple of years, and then Bobby got the head coaching job my junior year. So I already kind of knew the players at that point, knew the coaching staff, and it was just great having Bobby there.
And what do you think? You've been on so many trips with these guys. You were the guy before I started going to Florida with them. You were the guy that would go to Florida with them and take the baseball stats and all that. What do you think your favorite memory is of just being around the guys and being with the team?
It was probably the time we went to Florida right before COVID. Shut
2020.
everything down.
Yeah.
Yep. Great time. All the guys came down since they flew. Previously, they took buses down. In Bobby's first year, he didn't want to feel like people had to stay home at all, because when you take a bus, you can only take 32 players. But when you flew, he was able to fly the whole team down there, and they rented houses for everyone. It was just a great dynamic having all the players there. The relaxation time and the game time was just fantastic.
Hanley rips one into left field for a base hit. That's his first hit of the game. After 2 walks, a strikeout, and flying out to center field, able to finally get on with a hit as Logan Lemire steps in, the catcher. And so, Corey, I mean, you talk about the Florida trip and all that. I mean, that you guys flew down. Then when I went in 2022, we took a bus. And then this year, they were able to finally fly back. I did not realize that you guys flew that year. I thought 2023 was the first year that they took a plane down.
No, it's a lot nicer with the 2-hour flight instead
Yes.
of a 20-hour bus trip.
That's for sure. And I know too. Of course, you and Bobby are both from Olean, in New York, southwestern New York, about 2 hours from Buffalo. He was with the Olean Oilers. He was their manager, helped found the team.
Yep.
I believe he was the manager for 5 years for them. Won a couple of New York Collegiate Baseball League championships. Did you ever go see him coach back then?
Oh, plenty of times. I actually, when he started coaching, I was the bat boy because I was only 10 or 11. So he's been tagging along in his dugout.
How was that, getting to experience, professional or, collegiate baseball, but with some probably really talented players, some international guys, Division I guys as well?
Oh, I mean, he had, I think, 6 or 8 guys out of that first team get drafted.
Wow.
MLB, and John Kemmer, I think, was the highest. He made it to AAA in the Astros system. Actually went to a minor league all-star game. I believe he was just a talent level for those guys. It was fantastic to see.
And he also used to own a bar, I believe, in Olean called The Dugout, aptly named The Dugout.
Yep.
As well. And I think he owned that for, 2 or 3 years, and then he sold it. But so he's definitely part of the Olean community and all that for sure. But I'm sure he's shared a lot of stories with you. I know he was at Erie Community College for his first 2 years of playing before then transferring to Pitt and graduating in 2007 as well. And Lemire just took a walk there as Sean Connolly steps up to the dish now. Actually, it's going to be a pinch hitter. That's going to be Luke Klistic, number 40 for JCU. He's a 6-foot junior lefty from Lake Bluff, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. So Lemire on first, Hanley on second. First pitch from Spencer Knight outside. Actually, it's going to paint the corner for strike one. And Corey, you yourself used to play a little baseball as well for Olean, the high school there, and then you played a little. Did you play Legion ball as well?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nowhere near as good as Bobby though, but.
I say Bobby shared plenty of stories with us in Florida about his time with Erie Community College and Pitt as well. Of course, a relief pitcher Never started, or I think he might have started one game maybe in his career. Kind of like that one of those relief pitcher games. But like overall, Corey, I know you were here 4 years as well. Like, what does it mean? What did it mean to you to for your time here at JCU with the baseball team, and how have you used a lot of your experiences at JCU to what you're doing now at Heinens?
I mean, I think just dealing with people, learning how. I mean, you got everyone on that bench has a different personality and a different thing that's going to set them off or make them tick. And to be able to use all of them in a certain way, I saw a fantastic dynamic. Like in that 2020 year, I was pretty much involved all the way through fall ball up until COVID shut him down. But seeing Bobby as well as the assistant coaches Chet Lauer and Mike Burke, and how they built that team up and built them and got those. Every one of those guys was believing in each other. And unfortunately, the season was cut short since they had a lot of talent. And their last games of the year, they won a series against St. John Fisher down in Florida, who was ranked in the top teams in the country. I think 15 or 13th or something like that. But just seeing how they're able to motivate their players to get the best out of them.
And I think you said it, Corey. I mean that year, that 2020 year, that of course it's just kind of a lost season now because we never know how good that team would have been. I mean, you had a lot of seniors coming back as Jack Harmon throws a slow roller to short, trying to go for the double play, but he'll get to first in time. So that'll be 1 out, or 2 outs, I should say, as Eric Dawgeny, the center fielder, steps up to the dish. So, that team, you had Joe Charpentier as a fun-loving Joe, if you will. And then you also had, I think, Aaron Zawadzki was on that team. You had, young Hanley. And so even with some of those losses from the previous year, like Pat Cohane and Dom Mitiga, that team still was very good offensively as a wild pitch there, as Harmon will take second base. And Hanley will stay put at third. What was it during that series against St. John Fisher that led to that victory, especially with them being one of the top teams in the country? And what was the reaction after that win?
I mean, they played complete games, all 3 games. They did drop one of them to that team, but they won 2. I remember one game, Christian Casaro comes up in like the 7th or 8th inning, hits a home run, one of his first career at John Carroll. That's going to be put away right there. And then Tyler Cyrus comes up a couple batters later, pinch hits, gets a game-winning base knock down the right field line